Here we go. It's the Transport Inquiry Podcast, live coming at you. What we're going to talk about today, being the 2nd of April 2020, is the Australian road transport industry. What's happening, why, and how, and when, and where, and who. Because what happened was we were 24 hours out from giving evidence to the Senate, to the Rural and Regional Affairs and Transport References Committee, inquiry into road transport. We were all set to go. There was a list of people waiting to speak, and COVID-19. What can you say? Look at what it's done to this country. First we had the drought, we had the bushfires, and we got this shit. Anyway, keep going, keep trucking. Some news is that the Victorian Truck Drivers Annual Memorial, it's been postponed. Going to be talking to Betty Phillips, the founder of the Victorian Truck Drivers Memorial, and she's also been nominated through the Australian Trucking Association for the Transport Industry Woman of the Year. So we'll talk about that as well. She also counsels widows of truck drivers that have been killed on the road and looks after their families, as well as all the truck driver memorial stuff that she does. She's volunteered up at the National Road Transport Hall of Fame. Every year I've been there, she's been there volunteering, and she's a great lady. So she's coming up in conversation, which will be good for everyone to have a woman on for once. It took a while to get the audio from the Albury hearings. So the 22nd of November 2019, the Senate held inquiry hearing on that day in Albury, and all of the speakers now, their audio is available on this channel for everyone to listen to and get an idea about what the questions are going to ask and what they sort of looking at, because they want to hear from truck drivers. So what's going to be the industry going to look like? Maybe some of the problems that we had before won't be around anymore, but some of the major ones will still be there for me. The parking bays and stuff like that are missing, that they haven't built, and then not likely to. They're not looking at building anything at the moment. It's all coronavirus related, and bailing out all these airlines and stuff. Like, why do they need to bail out all these airlines when it's not even a national carrier anymore? It's owned by Singapore Airlines and all these other airlines. Like, if it's Australian owned, then fair enough, but because we've got to take a look in our own backyard and look at after our own. But it just seems like even the truck driver things, like the way the Transport Workers Union decided to suspend all EBA negotiations during the coronavirus pandemic. Well, you think it'd be the perfect time to use a bit of leverage to get some increase in standards and conditions for truck drivers. It just seems like they capitulated to the entity, the RTO entity, the Australian Retail Traders Industrial Organisation, that deals with industrial matters but not industrial legislation, or however they throw it around one way or the other. But it's all the same. It's just the legal people, all their lawyers that get together and they try and sit around and they work out how they're going to do all these things, and they don't invite drivers, and they say they're going to have round tables and stuff like that, and then you ask to be involved, but they don't want to invite you on there, and they don't invite me on there, obviously. I mean, I ask to be involved all the time. I say, how can I get on this conference call, and how can I listen in, and just even listen in, not even have to talk. Look, but they don't want to share. And of course, what's happened is when the drivers have come to these places, they can't get a shower, can't get a feed, they've gone to Senator Stirl and other MPs, and he's written to Michael McCormick, and then they've come out with these things to say that they're essential workers and they need to have showers and all that kind of stuff. But by then, like, if you're asymptomatic for 2 weeks, if you're not showing symptoms, then, as they say, flattening the curve is going to be a couple of weeks. Well, 208,900 truck drivers in Australia. You only need a 5%, drop. You're looking at 10,000 drivers being out. And, it's very hard to find qualified, experienced drivers that are willing to go on the road for the award and face a fatality and injury rate. But anyway, it's we're on the air now. We're going to be bringing you more conversations. Got a couple of submission authors who want their stories out, so I'm going to bring them to you next.